Hello and welcome to Bigby Plays, an RPG Maker game. This is called The Deed. I've played about 20 minutes of this game, right? Yeah, I want to say about 20 minutes of the game. I played it like just real quick just to see what the game's about. Pilgrim Adventures. We'll play the intro. And we all know that. Hang on, give me a second. Scotland, November 1945. It doesn't say a date. We're in Scotland, bros. My name is Aaron Bruce, son of Malcolm Bruce, and rightful heir to Dunshiel House. I have recently discovered that my tyrant of a father intends to disinherit me in favor of my deranged younger sister. My relation with my family is strained, to say the least. I've decided that time has come for my sister to be removed from this ghastly equation. I intend to put her out of her misery. Unfortunately, my sister never leaves the confines of the Dunshiel house, which makes the matters more complicated. I have not visited the family home in quite some time. I can't bear to be in that hellhole for long. However, my presence on the night of my father's 50th birthday will cause no suspicion. I must choose the timing and method of the deed very carefully. Tonight is the night I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Alright, now the premise of this game is I can pick up an item and a weapon. I have to choose which item and weapon to pick, and I have to use those two items to kill my sister and frame someone else. But at the same time, from what I guess, I should talk to everybody. Bloody hell, George! Who has been responsible for maintaining the gardens? It used to be Big Jack Willis, sir. He's been dead almost a year now. I do a little here and there. Can't do much on account of my bad back, though. My sister hasn't offered to help you, then? Miss Jennifer isn't really the outdoor type, sir. I know, George. It was a joke. Very funny, sir. Let's go inside before the ocean comes down to Dunshiel. Am I going to do this all the time? Homecoming. Converse with your relatives and search the house for useful objects. Objects are divided into two categories: items of evidence and weapons. You will only be allowed to pick up two objects from around the house before dinner commences, so choose wisely. After dinner, you will have a chance to plant an item of evidence if you wish, and then commit the murder. There are many ways to do the deed, but only the cunning will succeed. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Aaron. May I take your coat?
Of course. Yes, take this blasted wet thing off me. I'm sorry, I screwed that up. You're new, aren't you?
Sophia's my name. I recognise you from your pictures, Mr. Aaron. I'm not new exactly. I've been employed by your family for almost a year. It's just that you'd never visited before.
My family and I have not always been on the best of terms, as I'm sure you're aware.
I may have heard a few things which gave me that impression. I hope that it's all past. I hope that it's all in the past now, at least. You're here now, and I'm sure you are eager to meet with the others. Your father's in the library on the left, and your mother's in the parlour, which is on your right. Your sister's is upstairs, I think. Oh, I know a way down around my damn house. Where can I find you, my pretty? And what if I want to join you for some pleasant company? Oh, I'll be in the kitchen preparing the dinner. I'll sound the bell when dinner is served.
Alright, let's go talk to Mom.
I see you made it, Aaron. I have the same voice as the nanny, or the maid, or whatever you want to call me. Forgive me if I don't stand Your mere presence has almost given me a heart attack. Hello, Mother. Please sit down if you want to talk properly, Aaron. I don't want to crane my neck looking up at you. So, Aaron, you finally managed to make it up here to visit. Please tell me you aren't just here to cause trouble. No, Mother. I am not here to cause trouble. Quite the opposite. Oh? Our family has been dysfunctional for a long time, and I have taken the responsibility for that. For what it's worth, I apologize for any stress that my behavior has caused you over the years. I see. You'll forgive me if I am a little skeptical about this sudden change of attitude, Aaron. However, if we can get through today without drama, I would appreciate it. Have you been up to see your sister yet? She has been going through an unusual difficult time. You sound worried, Mother. Do you think it's serious? I have not seen her this bad in a long time. Do you remember the summer when she... with the razor in the bathroom? Yeah, I remember. That was the last time I remember seeing her like this. So yes, to answer your question, I am worried. Anyway, you should go talk to your father, if you haven't already. Wish him a happy birthday. Oh, and at least tries to sound like you mean it. Alright, let's go talk to Dad. See if Dad wants to kill us. Even now, the familiar musty smell of your father's library fills you with dread as you step inside. You have too many bad memories of this room. Your father's best friend, a hunting dog named Beastie. Can we just talk about that name real quick? That name is so fucking stupid for the fucking dog. Why couldn't you name it like Spot or Rover or fucking Hound? The dog that looks at you for a moment, then walks away and realizes you have no food. Get away, boy. Chair is for the dog. I want to talk to you. Hello, Father. Your father remains silent for several moments, and a chill seems to pass through the library. When he finally speaks, it is in a quiet, bitter tone. Told me you'd never enter this house again, boy. Why are you here? Ah, fuck, I skipped it. Happy? You honestly think it's a happy day for me? Another day when I can watch my life's work crumble into nothing. Another day to see our bloodline slit its own throat. You know how to make me happy. Move back to Dunshoyle. Take your proper place and do your damn duty. Oh. If I were to move back to Dunshoyle, I would have certain expectations. Oh? What expectations would those be? Firstly, I refuse to suffer your daily insults. You will need to learn to be more decent towards me. Secondly, I want my sister put up in care, where she belongs. I cannot live with her insanity for another day. You would like that, wouldn't you? You obnoxious little shite. Selling out your own bloodline. And those are my times. Well, you know what I can do with your terms? The nerve of you. You're the same snot-nosed brat you always were, boy. Obviously, I didn't give you enough discipline as a child. I can see you are determined to be impossible. I think we had better end this discussion now. You are the impossible one, boy, as always. But I think you're probably right about one thing. This conversation is pointless, and now it's over. Get out of here. Oh. Okay. Shelves are labelled British history, even though we're in fucking Scotland. Arts and culture. When your father isn't looking, you quietly open the top drawer in the desk and take a look inside. Memorabilia. One of the items sends a shiver through your bones. The cruel leather toss your father used to beat when you were a child. Perhaps it was planted. If you planted it in the right place, it might raise questions. We'll leave it. We'll leave it for now. Because I don't know what a leather toss is. But, I guess I'll go speak to the maid. Walking into the pantry, you begin to salivate at the promising scent of roast beef coming from the kitchen beyond.
Find nothing of interest on the top of the cabinet, however. You see a blue box marked rat poison. Ah, please, poison's bitch's way. Poison is the maiden's way out. Nah, I don't want to take the knife. Knife is an easy way to kill her.
Oh, hello, Mr. Aaron. Is there something I can do for you?
Actually, I wanted to ask you about your time working with my family.
Oh?
I'm concerned that my father's bad temper doesn't seem to have improved much over the years. Does he give you much abuse?
I wouldn't call it abuse, Mr. Aaron. He can certainly be a very demanding employer, but there's nothing wrong with that. I'm very grateful to have this position.
My voice keeps cracking when I'm trying to do her voice.
I'm sorry. I must get back to work now. I will ring the bell when dinner is ready.
May gives you an exasperated glance as she moves some pots and pans around. She obviously is too busy for more idle chatter. I will take the knife. If you want to remember, you can pick up 2 objects. Yes, knife is certainly a close and personal weapon. Should suffice to get the deed done. Alright, so now we have our weapon. Now we need evidence. The wooden table is currently empty. None of these books interest you. You decide that now it's not the time for lounging around. There is work to be done. There's not an assortment of family records and heirlooms are contained within the ornate glass cabinet. Now, if I remember correctly, yes, this will trigger a flash book.
I don't know. Of course you don't. Use that head for once, boy.
Great Uncle Thomas?
Hey, what initials do you see on that silverware?
CB?
And what kind of half-wit spells Thomas with the C?
I don't know.
Well, I do. It's the kind of half-wit standing next to me. Now, which of your ancestors owned that silver chalice? If you get this one wrong, there will be serious consequences, boy.
It was... I'll say one thing for my father. His style of parenting has always been consistent.
It was Aunt Marguerite. Because that name starts with a C.
Parents' room, right? Your parents' room has not changed in years. It remains a frozen time capsule of a childhood you would sooner forget. You go through the wardrobe, but find nothing apart from clothes and your mother's excessive jewelry collection. Alright.
Can we, like, frame ourselves to make it look like we did it?
You enter a surreal atmosphere of your sister's room. Mirrors of various sizes cover the wall, creating an eerie illusion of a crowded space.
Aha! I thought I smelled a rat. You have come to see me, little rat.
Hello, Jennifer. How have you been?
How have I been? Well, nothing for a little rat to ask. Normally they just say squeak, squeak. You used to have a pet rat, didn't you? Remember what I did to him? Oh, how he squeaked. Such great pain for such a little creature. What did you want to talk about, eh, little rat?
Well, it says your condition's been getting worse.
My condition? What condition? I don't have a condition. You want to have me sent away, don't you? Well, it won't work. It won't work, I tell you. Go away. I don't want to speak to you anymore.
She says, going back to studying her own reflection in the mirror, completely oblivious to anything else in the world. Sister's too busy. Find a silky glue undermat with her planted at the right place. They might weave a tale of their own.
Curious. You know what?
I have an idea. I want to explore the rest of the house before I take those. I think I have an idea. I have an idea for who I can blame. Can I talk to Mother again? Well, you know, better not discover again. Alright, so I can't. Man, this game is weird.
but it's so great. The dusty old wine cellar is where your father collects to practice billiards. The lodge room is next door and beyond the servants' quarters. Is this the new maid? Oh, this is the new maid. It is immaculately well made. I have an idea of what to do, but I want to talk to you. Oh, hello, sir. What can I do for you? You seem quite distressed about something. I do. Well, I'm sure it's nothing you should trouble yourself with. Your concern and my concern. Come now, George. We've known each other for many years. If something is troubling you, I want to hear about it. If you insist, sir. Ever since the new maid arrived, I feel like I'm being nudged towards early retirement. She's obviously being trained to become the new housekeeper. She's taken over my responsibilities one by one. I've tried discussing the matter with her, with your mother, but it's no use. She hasn't been herself lately either. But please, don't trouble yourself about it. Sir, I probably shouldn't have asked. Probably shouldn't have said anything at all. In what way is my mother not herself? Ever since your sister's condition has become worse, your mother has become rather cold and withdrawn. Your sister's gone through difficult spells before, but has never affected your mother quite like this. There is darkness that I have never seen in her before. I should say no more. Please excuse me, sir. Bitch is talking about my mother. Alright. Now, I know the item I want to take before dinner. Because I have an idea. And if you don't know what my idea is, then too bad. And the only room I haven't gone into is my own. Yes, we're going to take those undergarments. Because I have an idea in my mind. Again, a bell invites me. It's time to dinner, it seems. Yeah, say that in front of your sister. Dinner is served.
Sophia, could you come here a moment?
Yes, ma'am. Pour me some more wine. Yes, ma'am.
But, madam... Oh, what is it, George?
Why am I using British accents for fucking Scottish people?
I most protest. It has been my duty to pour the wine at dinner.
Oh,
well, I don't want to cause any trouble.
Nonsense. What does it matter, George? Stop being over pedantic.
But I...
Don't let Seth speak to you like that. Come on, let George pour the wine. Yes. Just let him pour the damn wine, would you? It's his job.
You stay out of this, boy. If your mother wants the girl to pour the damn wine, the girl will pour the damn wine.
Of course, sir. My apologies. An interfering little rat, isn't he, Daddy?
Yes, he is. Why can't you ever keep your mouth shut, boy?
The music just decided to restart there at the time, and I'm not kidding. Perhaps I did speak up. You're right, I'm sorry. I must have had too much of wine myself.
You better not let it happen again.
Sophia, could you come here, please? Yes, Miss Jennifer? I just wanted to say that was the loveliest meal I ever tasted. I don't know how you do it, you cunning pixie. You are too kind, miss. Of course I will have tea and cakes for you. Or you in the drawing room as usual after dinner. Oh, you are so good to me, you sweet thing. So very, very good to me. Ooh, two of these are.
Really, you two? You don't need to broadcast your affection so obviously to the public.
I'm sorry, Mr. Aaron. I never. Shush, rat. Go crawl into a hole somewhere. That's quite enough of your silly jokes, Aaron. Anyway, let's not forget why we're here today. To celebrate your father's birthday. Such is a very important occasion for us all. You are so dear to us, Malcolm. Happy birthday, Daddy.
Indeed, happy birthday, Father. Let us hope it will be one to remember. doing the deed.
Now it is the time to quickly plant the items and evidence you have. Simply enter the design room, you must select an inventory and head to the drawing room to do the deed. George seemed busy sorting through all the items in the cupboard. Well, George, I need to do something. Hello, George. You don't particularly relish the thought of carrying these around in your pocket, but you must do what needs to be done.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
This isn't what you get for not doing the lawn, George. Bad back my ass. Are you sure you want to enter the drawing room? Once inside, there is no turning back.
Yes.
You see Jennifer staring out the window ahead of you. Lost in one of her strange moods, she hasn't noticed you entering the drawing room. Now is the time. The kitchen knife. Cecile lets out a shriek as you grab from behind and shove the knife into her back. You silence her cries with one hand over her mouth. Twisting the blade, you then let her limp body fall to the ground along with the blade knife. Surely someone will come and investigate the noise. You need to get out of this room. 10 seconds to leave the room. 9, 8, 7. Yes. Your mother doesn't. We will be in here with our mother because. Jesus Christ, that's a loud scream. Alright. Come on! Hopefully we did this good. Hopefully we did this good. Oh ho ho! Oh ho ho! Oh ho ho! Good evening, everyone. I am Chief Inspector Winston Lewis. I understand that this is a difficult time for your family.
You're damn right it is. I want to know what you're doing wasting time in here while my daughter's killer is still out there.
Well, Mr. Bruce, we've found no evidence of forced entry and nobody was seen entering or leaving the house. It would seem entirely possible that the killer was in this room. What? No! That seems highly unlikely, Inspector. Perhaps it is. However, in order to follow protocol, I will have to interview each of you in your turn. Miss Bruce, would you like to meet me in the library first? I suppose. Ba-bam! The interview. Thank you for joining me in here, Mr. Bruce. I am sure this won't take long. Before we begin, I will need to search your person. Best to get these formalities out of the way. Is this really necessary? I'm afraid so. Turn around, please. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the interview. As you know, I have already spoken with everyone in the house who was present in the house at the time of your sister's death. We also have now completed your initial search of the house, but we'll get to that later. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? First of all, we will run through the activity since your arrival. The maid says you and the butler had arrived shortly after 7 o'clock and she greeted you at the door. She said you mentioned during your conversation that you were not on good terms for her. What I really meant to say was my family is not in good terms with me. It's been that way since I chose to leave the family home. Of course, I understand. The maid says you also made a rather inappropriate remark of a sexual nature towards her. It leads me to question your character, I'm afraid. Absolutely. Wouldn't you have done the same? She's a pretty little thing, after all. No, I can't say I would have. Later we went to speak to the maid again, which is curious. Why did you decide to visit the kitchen? I had some concerns about the way she was being treated. My family could be hard on the new staff sometimes. Seems like a good reason. I understand the two of you spoke about your father and his temper. My father has a vicious temper. I wanted to make sure he wasn't making her life miserable. I see. Has he always had a temper? Yes, he always. Later on, you had a conversation with your mother, Gloria, in the parlor. Ha ha! This is where you are wrong, Inspector. I talked to my mother first. She told me you were unusually cordial. Something about wanting to apologize and make amends. Yes, I wanted to clear the air between myself and my family. I see. Do you think it is slightly suspicious that you suddenly wanted to reconcile after all this time? No, I don't think so. Very well, then. She says you spoke briefly about your sister, apparently. Apparently you seemed quite concerned about her well-being.
My mother and I were concerned that my sister might try to take her own life, and she had attempted once before. She had she? I will take a note of that. You went to see your father in the library. I understand that your conversation became quite heated. Father has always had a short fuse. Many of our conversations got that way. Would you say he has a violent temper? Absolutely. I see. That's good to know. You discussed a prospect of moving back to Dunshire. You said you would only move back if your sister was patient. I had her own best interest at heart. She belonged in care. You might be right, Mr. Bruce. However, you seem to be the only one who felt that way. Let's discuss your conversation with the butler. Spoke about your mother's recent mood, yes? Let's pick this one. I don't. His concerns were well founded. My mother's behavior seemed normal enough to me. I see. Did you speak to your sister before dinner? Yes, I did. Yes, I went to her room to see her. I see. And what did you discuss with her? Nothing of consequence. We spoke about the terrible weather and how long it had been since we last saw each other. Okay then. Move on to the events that took place during dinner. I understand there was an argument involving the butler. You felt that he was being treated unfairly? Someone has to stand up for the servants around here. My family treats them like dirt. Indeed. It was good for you to do so, Mr. Bruce. At one point you made the accusation that the maid and your sister were in some sort of inappropriate relationship. It seemed obvious enough to me. The way those two were carrying on, my parents were just oblivious to it. You believe your sister was in a lesbian relationship with the maid? Almost certainly. Interesting. Now I need to ascertain your location at the time of your sister's death. Where were you when you heard the maid scream? Ground floor. West wing? Foyer? I was in the foyer. Oh, fuck! I was in the parlor! I suppose she just didn't see me. She would have. Sincerely, we have completed our initial search of the property. While searching George's room, we found a pair of undergarments which have your sister's initials on. Can you think of any reason why those would be there unless he stole them? No, I cannot. I see. I am curious about the murder weapon, the knife. Used to stab your sister in the back came from the kitchen, making the maid a suspect. However, we have established that you were also in the kitchen this evening. It is all very interesting. I will be completely honest with you now, Mr. Bruce. Frankly, your behavior leading up to your sister's death concerned me a great deal. However, I'm more concerned that you lied about your location at the time of your sister's death. Also, I must regard your father as a suspect. Even though the evidence is far from conclusive, I additionally think that it is entirely possible that the butler was somehow involved. I also think the evidence surrounding the maid might be worth another look. Given the weapon that was used, obviously suicide was not a realistic possibility. Now, as for what happens next, I am placing you under arrest of suspicion of murdering your sister, although I think I'll have some more further questions for your father later. I'll ask the butler to come to the station to answer some questions tomorrow. I think another interview with the maid will be required also. Well, fuck. Are we the only one who went to jail? Fuck! Fuck! As the only person to be arrested, you remain prime suspect in the case. The evidence against you is overwhelming. At the trial, it did not take very long for the jury to return a guilty verdict. You were given a life sentence for the murder of your sister, and would be spending the rest of your life sleeping behind bars. If your dank little cell, there was nowhere to hide or escape from the nightmares when they came. The deed itself had taken possession of your soul, and perhaps this was her final revenge. Fuck, dude. Shit! I'm so mad. So mad right now. How does that happen? How does something like that happen, you know? I was doing so well, too. I guess that'll be it for the day. Have a good one.